In a surprising twist, the daughter didn't bring her divorced parents back together, but helped each of them find peace, closure, and true happiness in the arms of someone else. Sometimes, love means letting go and choosing healing over holding on. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so to get the latest Nigerian movies from us. Today, we're talking about a captivating new Nigerian movie that's more than just entertainment. It's packed with important life lessons, so you definitely don't want to miss it. Let's get into it. The story begins with a mother named Lucy and her daughter, Maya. At one point, Maya becomes upset because her mother didn't inform her about an upcoming trip. When Maya confronted her, Lucy explained her reasons. Maya also reminded her mom about her previous stay with her dad. After this conversation, Lucy took Maya to school. Before that, Lucy had received a call from someone she was expecting that night. After attending to the call, she left with her daughter to school. That same morning, an engaged couple, Edward and Carol, were in the living room. Edward was about to leave the house, so he reminded his fiancée, Carol, that his daughter would be coming over that day. Carol expressed some discomfort about it, but Edward reassured her that they would handle things together. Later, after school, Maya and her best friend Vivian spent some time enjoying each other's company before going their separate ways. When Maya arrived at her dad's house, she was very direct with Carol. She hugged her father, and he told Carol to set the table for all of them. Then, Maya took her dad to her room for a private discussion. In the room, she told her father about her feelings toward Carol. Maya wanted to build a bond with Carol before he married her. Even though she wasn't entirely comfortable with the situation, she promised to be nice to Carol. After the conversation, her dad left the room. That same day, Lucy spent time with her fiancé, Harry. He insisted on meeting her daughter, Maya, though Lucy didn't want that to happen just yet. However, considering how serious and meaningful their relationship was, and seeing his determination, she eventually agreed to let him meet Maya when she returned. They then spent some quality time together. Meanwhile, at the dining table at Edward's house, Maya tried to put on a fake smile to impress Carol. During dinner, Edward told Maya about a trip he would be taking in a few months. Maya was surprised because her mother hadn't told her father about the trip yet. She excused herself, went to her room, and called her mother, insisting that she must call her father within the next 30 minutes. Lucy pleaded, saying it was taking longer than expected. Lucy then told Harry about the situation and expressed how she couldn't stand Edward's presence. Harry cheered her up, and they continued to enjoy their time together. Later that same day, Carol was shocked to learn about Edward's upcoming trip, especially because he hadn't mentioned it to her before letting his daughter visit. She wasn't happy about it, but Edward apologized. He explained that he wanted to spend time bonding with Maya and didn't want his ex-wife Lucy to have all the time and influence over her. Carol agreed to his request, and they spent some time together peacefully. Later, Carol came into the living room to connect with Maya, but Maya was very direct and distant with her. Respecting her space, Carol let her be and walked away. That evening, Lucy called Edward to talk about Maya's trip to South Africa. Maya had been selected to represent her school in a debate competition. However, Edward didn't support the idea, saying that Maya should instead focus on preparing for her upcoming exams. Their conversation turned into an argument because neither of them was willing to compromise. Lucy became very angry. Harry noticed her mood, and although she exaggerated what Edward had said, Harry managed to calm her down. The next day, Edward officially disapproved of Maya's trip to South Africa. He explained his reasons to her, and then left to wait for her in the car to take her to school. Later that day, Maya called her mother and told her how hurt she was by her father's decision. Lucy insisted that she would still take her on the trip. Maya, not wanting to reignite the argument between her parents, pleaded with her mother while they spent some time together. Later on, Carol asked Maya why she didn't pick up her phone call while she was in the house. Maya replied that it was because she saw Carol as an outsider. These words deeply hurt Carol. That night, in the bedroom, she told Edward that dinner had been served, but she wouldn't be joining them. She acted withdrawn and eventually fell asleep. During dinner, Edward told his daughter Maya that Carol wouldn't be joining them that evening. He then asked Maya if she and Carol had had any conversation, but Maya said no. Edward encouraged her to say a prayer, and they continued enjoying their meal together. Meanwhile, Lucy was on a business trip, and her fiancé Harry came to spend some time with her, making her feel loved and special. The next morning, while Maya was having breakfast, her father informed her that Carol had left. Maya was honestly happy to hear that. Edward later took Maya to her mother's house. At the gate, Maya pleaded with her dad to come inside because she wanted to have a discussion with both her parents. When Lucy welcomed them, Maya asked them to sit down. She brought up the topic of her school trip, but the conversation turned into a heated argument between her parents. They both ended up walking away, ignoring the purpose of the meeting, which deeply hurt Maya. Afterward, Lucy called Harry and told him everything that had happened. He managed to calm her down and lift her mood. That night, Maya was in tears. Guys, it's really difficult and hard for children to cope with parents who are divorced. In Maya's situation, what advice or recommendations would you give to make sure she doesn't suffer mentally? Kindly share your thoughts as we continue with the story. The next morning, while Lucy was preparing breakfast, Maya came into the kitchen and asked her why she didn't inform her dad about the second option for the trip. Maya actually preferred the interstate trip over the one to South Africa. Lucy, however, didn't support that option and quickly ended the conversation, neglecting what Maya truly wanted. Instead, she told Maya about Harry and expressed her desire for Maya to bond with him for her sake. Then they went on with their day. Later that day, Harry came over to see Maya. The atmosphere was a bit awkward at first, but it gradually became calm, and they had a pleasant meal together. Later that night, Maya spoke with her mother and gave a negative response when asked about Harry. She also pleaded again to be allowed to go on the interstate trip, but her mother kept imposing her own wishes on her, insisting she knew what was best for Maya. Frustrated, Maya went to her room and called her dad. She told him about the second option of the trip, which her mother had never mentioned to him, but he still refused. He insisted she should focus on her exams. The next morning, Maya looked visibly drained, and her mom had to keep pushing her to get ready for school, as it was her last day. At school, Vivian noticed that Maya looked lost. When Vivian asked what was wrong, Maya opened up, saying she felt unhappy because neither of her parents cared about what she truly wanted or tried to make her happy. Vivian begged her not to do anything harmful or foolish. Later that day, Lucy received a call from her mother-in-law, asking that Maya come spend the holiday with her. The conversation ended poorly, so Lucy hung up and called Edward. She told him she wanted Maya to spend the holiday with her, not with his mother. Their conversation quickly turned toxic, and both of them became extremely angry. That same night, Maya cried again, overwhelmed by everything happening around her. The next morning, she was once again reluctant to go to school. Her mom reminded her that Harry would be visiting that evening before they left the house. That same day, Edward sent a voice note to Maya from his mother, who reminded her to charge her phone. Meanwhile, Lucy told Harry that Maya wouldn't be coming that day, as she had been moody for a while. They spent the evening together. A few days later, one morning when Edward had gone to work, Lucy tried calling him. She was angry because he didn't call to inform her when Maya came over to his place. She insulted him, but Edward told her that Maya wasn't with him. That shocked Lucy, and they both began exchanging harsh words as they hurried to start searching for her. They both went to Maya's school to look for her, but she wasn't there. Edward started insulting Lucy, accusing her of being a bad mother and saying that Maya had been missing for days without her even knowing. Their argument intensified, with more pressure being placed on Lucy. When Lucy got home, Harry tried to comfort her. On the other side, Carol also consoled Edward, who was deeply upset. They then decided it was time to involve the authorities. While Harry was still consoling Lucy, Lucy received a call from her mother-in-law, who blamed her for being careless with Maya. Lucy angrily ended the call and then called Edward again. They exchanged more painful and hurtful words. Out of pain, Lucy called her auntie, while Carol tried to calm Edward down. Lucy's auntie prayed for hours, hoping Maya would return that night. Let's hope that by a miracle, Maya will return. But guys, who do you think is truly to blame here? The mother or the father? And why? Kindly share your thoughts as we wait to see what happens next. One morning, Maya was actually at a friend's house, and she told Vivian's mother that she, Vivian's mom, would be away for a month. They were trying to come up with a lie, but Vivian's mom caught them in the act and was very disappointed in her daughter. Eventually, they told her the truth. Vivian's mom then insisted that she be given Lucy's real phone number. Vivian gave it to her, and she made the call. While Lucy's auntie was scolding her, Lucy received a phone call from the woman with whom Maya had been staying. As soon as Lucy heard Maya's voice, she felt a wave of relief. Vivian's mother then told Lucy to come and pack Maya's things. Both Lucy and her auntie were overjoyed. Moments later, Edward arrived, unaware that Maya had already returned. He and Lucy immediately got into another heated argument, right in front of Lucy's auntie. At one point, their argument got so intense that Lucy's auntie struggled to calm them both down. Not long after, Maya returned home. Lucy's auntie quickly took her into a room. Meanwhile, Edward and Lucy tried to show appreciation to Vivian and her mother, but their ongoing awkward behavior drove them away. And they continued their argument. In the room, Maya apologized to her auntie. After a long conversation, she firmly insisted that her parents must agree to her condition. If they refused, she would leave and never come back. Lucy's auntie immediately called for a family meeting. During the meeting, Maya made her demands clear. Either her parents rent a separate apartment for her, or they both move into the same house where she was born. If they failed to agree, she would leave for good. Despite still exchanging harsh words, Lucy and Edward were shocked by Maya's firm stance. Although her request was tough, Edward agreed to move in, prompting Maya to leave the meeting and tell them to continue their discussion after he had moved in. Lucy and Edward continued their toxic exchange before Edward eventually left. When Edward got home, he shared the news with Carol. She wasn't comfortable with the arrangement, but Edward explained the urgency and the emotional risk involved. He assured her that this move wasn't about getting back with Lucy, and she reluctantly understood. Similarly, Lucy explained the same situation to Harry. Though he didn't take it well at first, he eventually came to terms with it. However, this entire situation became a real emotional burden for both Carol and Harry. Now, the big question is, do you think Maya's demand is a bad idea or a good one? If you were in the shoes of her parents, would you agree to it? And how would you cope living under the same roof with a divorced spouse? Please share your thoughts as we see what happens next. That same day, Edward moved in. Lucy's auntie and Maya had already prepared his room. Once he arrived, Lucy's auntie told him to drop his things and come downstairs. When they were all settled, she gave them a serious scolding. She emphasized the dangers that could have happened if Maya had fallen into the wrong hands. She gave them strong advice and told them some hard truths, stressing that Maya should be their top priority and happiness from now on. After that, she left them alone. A few days later, while Maya was cooking a nice meal, her father came in and asked if she could invite Carol over. Maya refused. Lucy also came to plead with her to let Harry join, but Maya refused again. She said she only wanted to have a meal with her mother and father alone. Later, Edward was on a call with Carol, asking her to at least come stay with him for a short while. Meanwhile, Lucy welcomed Harry, and Edward also welcomed Carol. Surprisingly, Lucy and Edward discovered that Harry and Carol already knew each other. Harry appeared uncomfortable as he watched Carol follow Edward to his room. He quickly snapped out of it when Lucy insisted they go to her room instead. Inside the room, Harry revealed to Lucy that he had once been in a serious relationship with Carol 3 years ago. They almost got married, but broke up due to misunderstandings. However, he spoke positively about Carol. On the other side, Carol also told Edward the same thing about her past with Harry, which made Edward feel a little awkward. Later, Maya came to her mother and invited her to a meeting in the living room. At first, Lucy didn't want to go because of how she was feeling, but eventually, she agreed to join them. After Edward escorted Carol to the door, Maya, Edward, and Lucy held the meeting. Maya suggested they go out, but her idea didn't seem to sit well with anyone, and the room fell silent. Days later, Harry and Carol met up to spend time together. That same day, Lucy was trying to reach Harry, but he told her he was busy with work and ended the call. Meanwhile, Edward went home and called Carol because she wasn't there. She lied and said she was home watching TV. Later that day, Carol returned home, only to find Edward waiting. She claimed she had gone to visit a friend. Edward complimented her outfit and sarcastically asked if it was for Harry, but Carol ignored him and walked away. One day, Maya called her mom to assist her in the kitchen. At the same time, she sent her dad a message asking him to help as well. When both parents were in the kitchen and Maya gave them separate tasks, Edward and Lucy started arguing again, ruining the moment. Later that night, Maya was on a call with her friend Vivian. She shared her plan to make her parents fall in love with each other again by constantly putting them in the same space, hoping that love would rekindle between them. Now, do you think this kind of plan could ever work? Because what happens next is truly surprising. That same night, Maya overheard an emotional conversation between her mother and Harry. Lucy was explaining to Harry that there was nothing going on between her and Edward. She said she was willing to let go of everything, even her relationship with Harry, if that was what it took to make her daughter happy. Lucy ended the call in tears, and Maya, listening from the background, felt the pain and heartbreak in her mother's voice. The next morning, just as Edward was about to leave for work, Maya approached him to ask how he was doing. She also asked about Carol. Edward shared how he was upset that Carol had not been honest with him and had kept things from him. He admitted that it wasn't fair, but reassured Maya that everything would eventually be fine. They both left shortly after. Later that day, Maya decided to go see Carol. Carol was shocked to see her and told her that Edward would not be coming by. But Maya explained she was actually there to see her, not her dad. They had a moment together, sharing conversation and connection. When Maya got home, her mother asked her why she had come back late. Maya simply replied that she had gone to check something out without revealing where she had been. That evening, after Edward returned from work, Maya suggested that he go spend time with the one he truly loved, Carol. She told him that she knew he didn't really want to be there and pleaded with him to at least have a meaningful conversation with her mother. Since it was what Maya wanted, Edward agreed. Maya then brought a glass of wine for both her parents, hoping they would talk things through peacefully. Unfortunately, things didn't go as she hoped. They ended up arguing again, as usual. The next morning, Maya saw her mother off to her car. Lucy seemed surprised by her daughter's actions, but she left anyway. Shortly after, Carol arrived at Maya's invitation. They were enjoying the moment together when Lucy returned. She was trying to understand what was going on when Edward also walked in. Just as he was trying to figure things out, Harry arrived. The situation became so tense and awkward that each couple retreated to their respective rooms with their partners. In their room, Carol told Edward that Maya had come to visit her earlier based on what Edward had previously told her. She then opened up to him about her recent meeting with Harry, explaining they were seeking closure after never properly addressing their breakup. She assured Edward that nothing romantic was happening between them, and they had just wanted to clear the air. Edward forgave her, and they reconciled. Meanwhile, in Lucy's room, Harry told her how uncomfortable he had been since learning that she would be staying with Edward. He also confessed to seeing Carol, where they discussed their past and who they truly loved now. Harry admitted that for him, that person was Lucy. Lucy, in turn, told Harry that Edward had informed her about a conversation he had with Maya, where Maya had said Lucy truly loved Harry. With emotions now clear and misunderstandings addressed, Lucy and Harry reconciled and shared a joyful moment. Maya, watching from a distance, was happy to see that everyone was finally at peace and in love. She observed them exchanging pleasantries, smiling at the happiness that had replaced the tension. This story teaches a powerful lesson about the emotional toll that separated parenting can have on a child. It highlights the importance of love, understanding, and unity. For a family to remain strong and firm, both parents must be willing to forgive, communicate, and support each other. It also emphasizes that children should not carry the burden of fixing their parents' issues. While their feelings matter, they must allow adults to handle adult problems. At the same time, parents should not turn children against the other parent. It's unhealthy and damaging. The most important takeaway is this: go where you are loved, respected, and heard. Your peace of mind and emotional well-being should never be sacrificed. Not for a relationship, not for a child, not for anything. People often remain in emotionally draining situations out of obligation, but true happiness comes from mutual respect and emotional freedom. It takes real understanding to build a solid home. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more interesting updates on the latest Nigerian movies. See you next time.